Hey guys, let's talk about that third eye today. And I'm not referring to crystals or anything like that, nor am I referring to the band Third Eye Blind, which sings one of my favorite songs, Jumper, which was performed by Jim Carrey in the movie Liar Liar. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so funny. But, anyways, I'm talking about a third eye when it comes to having an individual in your life who's a sounding board for when you feel that you're not comfortable in a situation. And there's times when you have to remove and withdraw, and you say, you know what, this is just not my cup of tea. But if you've been through stuff like what I've been through, where I've been assaulted in the military, I was raised in a family where I was kind of bullied, kids walked out of my life, and so sometimes sometimes I might be triggered, and it's not necessarily in a bad way. It's where my spidey senses go off. So, anyways, let's talk about the third eye and the fact that I'm so grateful I have a husband who really helps me to see things clearly. And so I'm going to give you a situation where I needed his input, which was really important. And my uncle's dad was adopted and eventually reconnected with his birth family, and he has a number of siblings from the same parents. And so we were going to meet my husband's uncle for the first time ever. And so we met him. We met his uncle and his uncle's wife, and they were really super nice people, and they lived about 2 hours from us. So we established a really nice relationship, and we'd go see them, and they'd come see us, and it was wonderful. And we thought, this is a great situation for my husband, who is now getting to know his extended family. And so everything was fine and dandy. And then they came to see us, and we were all hanging out. And all of a sudden, his uncle got kind of obnoxious. And I thought maybe he's a joker or whatever the case may be. But I was holding a glass, and I was drinking water, and he started bumping my hand or bumping my arm, and the glass would hit my mouth. And I thought, if he keeps doing this, I could crack a tooth. And so I finally just set the glass down, and I thought, well, whatever, it's just the way it is. And then I started to win, and he was kind of a sore loser, so he'd take my chips and he'd push them on the floor, and I'd say, what the heck is going on, right? So, anyways, so we're hanging out. Sorry about that. I'm just straightening up my camera, so I'm kind of right here in the middle. So, anyways, it got to be where he was just obnoxious. And then we were all sitting watching TV, and his wife was talking, and he started like poking her and kind of digging his elbow into her leg because she wasn't agreeing with him, or she was saying to him, you're kind of being obnoxious. And I thought, what the heck is going on? And we realized, I said to my husband, when we went to bed, they slept in my stepson's room. And I said to my husband, did you see that? He goes, yeah, I can't kind of believe it. And I thought, well, why is he so mean? And my husband said, well, we're going to have to, cut it short tomorrow, and then I'll give him a call. And so I kind of said, I got to get some work done around the house, and it was, we'll see you guys later, and they left. And then I said, what are we going to do? So I called his uncle's wife, who was a really nice person, and I said, I'm just kind of going to run this past you where, he's kind of a bully. She goes, well, I know, and he's always doing that to people and bumping people and this and that. And I said, I can't have that here. I'm just not comfortable. And my husband tried to call his uncle, and he didn't return the call or whatever, said he was too busy to talk. And I said, oh, this is, so it was nice that I had my husband with me as a extra set of ears, eyes, etc. So before you cut ties with someone, make sure you run it past someone, because like I said, I'm a hypersensitive person about certain issues, and I don't like bullies, and I don't like mean people. And sometimes if someone's boisterous, I might just be put off by it. But if they mean no harm, that's no big deal. But if it comes down to it and they really cross the line, first thing you have to say is, no, please don't do that. And if they don't respect you, that's when you know that they're not going to. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I hope this helps other people who are deciding whether to stay or whether to go. Always have another set of eyes and ears around, so that you know you're definitely not crazy. you have to part ways. Sonny, that's all I've got, and I will be back.